Hello, my name's Nathan Leahy and welcome to Next Week in Gaming. So our first release next week is on Monday the 15th of February and this is by Jetcat Games. This is Hellaborn and this is sort of a nice little mix between a simulator and an arcade style game. I haven't played a simulator helicopter style game since Longbow, like the original Longbow back when... God, Windows 98, 95 was a thing. I don't even know if it runs on modern OSs. Anyway, this is sort of like a nice mix between simulation and arcade, so it's not got the really complicated controls which require a 30, 40, 50 page manual, but at the same time, it's not just a screw around on a controller sort of thing. This is kind of a weird type of game because it has two main modes, a frontline mode, which is sort of capture and hold, but you can also deploy like manpads and soldiers and things like that. So it's not just restricted to helicopter related stuff, but you know, it's a main play field of it, and also a sort of capture the flag, which is the basic thing. So this has got about 31 helicopters, all with customizable weapons, and it is an early access, so it's not quite finished. There will be some optimizations as well as more maps and just generally more content. So overall, I'm kind of hoping this is going to be that helicopter game everybody's finally been, waiting for a long time. But, who knows? It could turn out pretty interesting. We have another game releasing in early access on Monday the 15th of February, and this is by Blazing Griffin. This is the Ship Remastered, so for any of those who haven't played the original The Ship, it was basically like a deathmatch style game set on this ship. What you would have to do is you would be, it was a game basically. The story, there was like a main storyline, and a chap was made this game which was sort of like Battle Royale, where you were given a target to assassinate, and you were told to assassinate them with whatever guns you had available, but you weren't given their face, and so you'd have to go around this massive ship area in loads of different rooms, quite a big map overall, and you have to interact with different characters and other players. It's a multiplayer game at its core, and basically you eventually, when you finally got in conversation with the right person, it would then show you who you need to kill, and you'd then need to kill them. So it's a little bit like Spy Party if anyone's been keeping their eye on that, except obviously as this is in early access, most of the weapons are already in the game and ready, but there's a couple of mechanics that are missing, like swimming, and there's some performance optimization stuff to do. But it back in the day, the ship was actually a really, really good deathmatch game. It got great Metacritic scores. People loved it all over the place. So hopefully this one will, bring it back into the new age with some quality graphics. So one of the big releases next week is on Tuesday the 16th of February, and this is Capcom Street Fighter V. Now, I've been a fan of Street Fighter titles for a hell of a long time. I mean, I've made joysticks using old Xbox 360 controller pads and stuff like that, and Street Fighter games, general fighter games, I've been a good fan of. They've had a big following, and I've usually quite enjoyed all of the sort of additional bits that they've added to each one in the series, but Street Fighter V, I'm starting to get a little bit because the games are quite expensive, and it's getting to be like that sort of FIFA Call of Duty thing where they're making the same thing over and over and over again, not really adding a whole lot and yet charging a whole lot for it. So in this game, you're getting a load of V stuff. It's basically a glorified version of Mortal Kombat's little X-ray bar at the bottom. It's basically that. There are even X-ray moves as well, so it's sort of like maybe a hat tip or a little steal of that sort of piece of the pie. I don't know. It's got a couple of all the old characters plus a couple of new characters. This V mechanic which involves V trigger, V skill, and all this other crazy nonsense. And it is made in Unreal Engine 4, so the graphics might be a little bit prettier. But overall, there's nothing really pulling me to spend £45 on a new Street Fighter game, particularly after playing Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, but I don't really see the point in this new one. So, it might be cool, might be amazing to have all these new graphics and things, but I'm getting a little bit tired now. Another title releasing in early access is on Thursday the 18th of February, and this is by Our Essences. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Our Essences, something along those lines. It's a bit of a weird name. Even the publisher's got a weird name. It's like Teotal Entertainment or something like that. And this is the Solus project. So for those of you that don't know, there's an E3 trailer you should go and check out. I'll show a snippet of it in this video. And it's quite a cool looking game. It's sort of... if someone did a story-orientated exploration/survival version of the Alien films, this would be it. And it looks fantastic. Graphics look great. And basically, you're just sort of roaming around this place. There's a few snippets taken from a few different genres. So there's a little bit of survival. There's a little bit of the horror in there. There's a little bit of the alien isolation stuff going on. And it just looks fantastic. Like, the trailers just make it look excellent. Hopefully, the actual in-game footage will be as good. And, you know, it looks like it's quite an interesting story-driven stuff. There's eggs all over the place, reminiscent of Alien, and there's also tombs, so it's taking a little page out of Tomb Raider's book. So overall, it's borrowing a few good things from a lot of good games, and I'm hoping that the whole package, when it comes together, just ends up being awesome. But this is releasing in early access, so it's going to be mildly unfinished, and looks like it could do with a fair bit of optimization at the moment as well. So our review will be posted on Thursday the 18th of February, except it's going to be posted at 5 p.m. GMT instead because of the way NDAs fall. And this is No Pineapple Left Behind. This is probably one of the most bizarre titles I've reviewed. I know Not a Hero was a little bit crazy, but that was just general awesome fun entertainment. But No Pineapple Left Behind is quite weird. I think it's going to be a bit of a niche product because it's going to appeal to people who are aware of the quirks and things that involve in the education system, particularly in America. It's based on that sort of thing. It looks quite amusing, very British sense of humour, and it's just very strange. It's sort of like a micromanagement game. There's very little micromanagement involved at all, and it's just bizarre, really, really bizarre. From what I've been playing so far, it's very strange. So I look forward to how that turns out in the review. But, you know, hopefully you guys will find it at least mildly interesting to review such a... this game is unique. I don't think anything is like Pineapple game orientated stuff. So yeah, look forward to that. So that's it from us in Next Power Up. Join us next week on Thursday for our weekly review, and of course next week on Saturday for our next week in gaming episode. Let us know in the comment section below what you guys have been playing. I've just been jumping about with World of Warships, and as you can tell from the background behind me, I'm in a bit of temporary accommodation at the moment in my brother's flat for now, while I sort some things out for the next week. So you'll probably see this wonderful background and the washing machine and my brother's washing hanging up in the background until Thursday, I think. By Thursday, I'll probably be shooting off. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.